Hi, this video is designed to help you have a small group discussion on the meaning of sovereignty. Uh, there are three goals for your discussion. The first goal is understand the meaning of sovereignty and legitimate government. The second goal is how governments claim sovereignty. And the third and final goal is how governments must act to have sovereignty. Okay, probably many of you have never heard of the word sovereignty until now. Sovereignty really means governments have the power and authority to make laws for its citizens. Another way of saying this is governments has the power and authority to make decisions about how people can live. Remember, laws impact the way we act in society. The next word that you probably haven't heard until now is called legitimate. And legitimate simply means follows the laws or the right to something. That's a little vague right now, so here's a couple sentences that use the word legitimate, and hopefully from this context we can get a better sense of the word legitimate. Sam is a legitimate owner of the property. Okay, so this is a personal example of a person owning property. And this sentence shows that legitimate means Sam has legal rights to the property, meaning that no one can take Sam's property. Okay, so he's a legitimate owner. So here, legitimate simply means he has the right to own the property. Another way of looking at the word legitimate from the perspective of government is this sentence. The United States is a legitimate government because the people of the United States give their consent or permission to be governed. Without the consent of its people, the United States government would not be legitimate. So here, legitimate means that the U.S. government is recognized as the government. Okay, so before we go on, I want you to pause in your group and answer these two questions. What is sovereignty and what is legitimacy? Okay, so why don't you hit the pause button on your recorder and discuss this, and then when you're ready, come on back. Okay, I hope your discussion was beneficial. If you have any questions, write them down, and I can talk to your group in a little bit. Okay, so there are two ways to claim sovereignty. The first way is to have consent or permission of the people. Usually that's done through elected officials, and the people agree to be governed. The second, and equally important, is that the government must act morally and justly. It means that it cannot violate the rights of people. If either of these two conditions are not met, then the government cannot claim sovereignty. So for example, if we looked at the United States, if the people do not consent to an elected official, that person does not have the right or the authority to that government position. And again, if we are acting immorally or without justice, that would be another way in which sovereignty could not be claimed. Let me pause for a second here and make sure we're clear about the meaning of a couple words. The meaning of consent means that people just give their permission to be governed, and that is done through elections, as I said earlier. Justice, we talked a lot about that a month or two ago, and government here, justice means the government does the right thing. It follows ethical principles, which means that it has to follow an established set of morally right ideas. and we talked about those. Okay, so let's pause again. Here's a question I want you to discuss in your group. And the question is, how does a government become legitimate or earn the right to make laws for its people? Why don't you hit the pause now and begin your discussion, and when you're done, come on back. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. I want you to discuss this quote here. It was written about 500 years ago or so by Thomas Aquinas, and he was looking at government and the whole idea of sovereignty, and he wrote this quote saying, in the absence of justice, what is sovereignty but organized robbery? So I want you to consider that in your groups, and to help you out, I think your discussion would be greatly improved if you draw on your knowledge of philosophy, your historical knowledge of colonization and U.S. history. These discussions that we've had in the past will serve you well here. I suggest that you have your notes available from previous class discussions. That should help you out in the text sets. So make sure you're using your materials. And here are some questions I think that will help you with your discussion. So go through these questions so you can pause your recorders right now, but I'll read the questions so that you're clear about it. What is justice? What is sovereignty? What is organized robbery? How can sovereignty lead to robbery? Who is robbed, and who are the robbers? I believe these questions will allow you to fully understand St. Thomas Aquinas' quote. So why don't you pause now and have your discussion. Okay, hopefully that was a fruitful discussion, and if you have time, here's one final question that you can discuss in your group, and that question is, did the U.S. government have legitimate claims to North America? Hopefully this question is discussed and you have a lively conversation. I'll talk to you later. Bye.